Heavily armored federal agents making their way into the home on Mapleton Drive associated with rap mogul Shaw, Diddy, Coles. There are no misconceptions about me. I'm a little sketched out right now. This grand estate was Diddy's treasure until he fled the home over 15 years ago, and the reason for his hasty departure remains unknown. Was it scandal, fear, or something more sinister? Here, go look. You go look and tell me if you think we could get back out from there. Yeah, sorry. On October 6, 2024, a Twitch streamer, Yosef, had the guts to explore this mansion Diddy left behind, but his search was cut short by the police almost as quickly as it began. This magnificent 2,000-square-foot mansion sits in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, with 8 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, a wine cellar, home theater, personal gym, library, 5 fireplaces, and many saunas. But one thing is still unclear: why did the star mysteriously vacate the home 15 years ago after purchasing it for a whopping $2.6 million, residing in it for 4 years, making major renovations, and then selling it off for $1.3 million, half the price he bought it for? Some say Diddy ran into financial issues, while others came to the crazy conclusion that he was being haunted by the ghost of his friend Biggie Smalls, popularly known as the Notorious B.I.G. Police are investigating the shooting death of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls. While this isn't a possibility we can cross out for sure, several fingers have pointed to Diddy as the mastermind behind the death of Biggie Smalls. Now, this would have just counted as naysaying, but these pointed fingers belong to industry stars who know things that they dare not tell anyone. What happened to Biggie Smalls? The Notorious B.I.G. was the first artist to sign with Diddy's Bad Boy Records in 1993. That same year, he gained recognition and began featuring on several tracks and albums. However, Biggie wasn't making nearly as much as he could have been, and this was because Diddy held half of his publishing rights and refused to give them up. Feeling cheated, Biggie reportedly began making plans to leave Bad Boy Records. His contract stated that Diddy had half his publishing rights, and other artists with the label also believed it was incredibly unfair. Biggie's lawyers began pushing for more control over the publishing rights, but Diddy fought them at every turn. In P. Diddy's words, "I will never give it up until I'm dead and my bones are crushed into powder." On March 5, 1997, Biggie did a radio interview in San Francisco in which he stated that he had hired a security detail because he feared for his safety. 3 days later, on March 8, he attended the Soul Train Music Awards after-party. But everything changed at 12:30 a.m. when the fire department closed the party early due to overcrowding. Biggie then left with his entourage to return to his hotel, but by 12:45 a.m., his inevitable death was just seconds away. The rapper halted before a red light when a black Chevy Impala pulled up beside him. The Impala driver, an unidentified black man, rolled down his window, drew a blue steel pistol, and shots went ringing in the air. In a matter of seconds, the rapper was fatally shot 4 times, and his entourage rushed him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m. It's been over 20 years since Biggie was murdered, but no arrests have been made in connection with his death. However, some personalities have made claims that Diddy is indeed an accomplice to the homicide. In his song 50 Cent hinted at Diddy's involvement in the murder of Biggie Smalls, claiming that the music mogul would come for everybody else. As a matter of fact, 50 Cent and Diddy have rarely been on friendly terms. At one time, both men explored the alcohol industry and even became business rivals. In 2023, 2 whole decades after Biggie's death, Diddy finally relinquished control of his publishing rights back to all Bad Boy artists and writers who helped build Bad Boy into the powerhouse it is today. Multiple times after the disgraced producer's arrest, 50 Cent has taken to social media to throw jabs at him, insisting that all the allegations against him are true. To further establish all his allegations against Diddy, 50 Cent has revealed that he is producing a documentary series about the producer's disturbed life. The project is presently in production, and Netflix has already assigned a producer to it. Now that Diddy is finally in jail, it looks like 50 Cent is prepared to let out all the skeletons in Diddy's cupboard. And if there's anyone who does not hide the fact that he knows more than he should, it's Eminem. In a remix track titled, "The Rapper Attacked Diddy," connecting him with Biggie and Tupac's deaths as well as the string of sexual assault lawsuits against the Bad Boy boss. This won't be the first time Eminem would make such a bold statement against Diddy, as he made similar allegations in the original track. No one has come forward with substantial and undeniable evidence that Diddy indeed went after Biggie, but one thing we know for sure is that there was something about that house that he was terrified of. For all we know, Biggie's ghost could indeed be haunting him, because this is not the only luxury home he's fled from. Mansion-turned-graffiti freak-off museum, the star producer abandoned yet another magnificent structure in Hollywood Hills, and when viewers made the connection between Diddy and this 5-bedroom, 9-bathroom, 9,000-square-foot mansion, graffiti hell broke loose. They have painted tags and street art all over the white exterior of the property, writing words such as, "Diddy was here," in enormous red letters over the roof. A weeping heart was also painted on the side of the house, and tags, sayings, and phrases were added by the artists, including the somewhat satirical quote, "Money is temporary, lifestyle is forever." As for the interior, squatters have taken over, and according to local accounts, officials clear out at least 10 residents in a single day. Approximately 10 years have passed since the property was abandoned, but in the weeks following Diddy's initial arrest in Manhattan as part of his alleged involvement in sex trafficking, the damage has increased. The mansion, once owned by musician Mary J. Blige and valued at approximately $6 million to $7 million, is now totally covered in graffiti art. However, these abandoned houses aren't nearly as bad as the ones where Diddy has had his wild freak-off parties. These freak-offs were hours and hours of vile partying and elaborate sexual acts and performances. According to the lawsuit filed by Lil Rod Jones, his former employee, he occasionally made arrangements for all sorts of women, including minors and men, to attend the parties and made sure they ingested narcotics for maximum and unrestricted sexual performance. Following the producer's arrest, another strange feature in his huge home has resurfaced online. Footage from Diddy's mansion's backyard shows the rapper had installed a gigantic 50-foot bed in his garden, and no, the bed was not a stone sculpture. Footage showed women jumping on it and even tucking themselves in. Best believe that bed was an instrument to those parties. If only it could talk. The parties often lasted for days on end, and Diddy and his victims would frequently need fluids to recuperate from the strain and drug usage. When authorities finally arrived at the location of the freak-offs, his Miami home, to conduct a raid, they were shocked to find drugs, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and all sorts of firearms. His sons, Justin and Christian King Combs, were at their father's Los Angeles home when Homeland Security agents conducted a similar raid. With his hands on his head, the agents then appeared to take him down a hallway. The released clip ends with what appears to be one agent holding a semi-automatic rifle to the head of Christian Combs while Justin was handcuffed as the authorities stormed the interior of the home. The mother of the boys then took to social media to condemn what she called authorities' misconduct toward her sons. The family has shown nothing but support since the producer was arrested, paying no mind to the wild rage on social media and consistently appearing in court for every hearing. His mother, Janice Combs, has also defended her son in a statement issued by her lawyers, saying it has been unbearable to witness what appears to be a public lynching of her son before he had the opportunity to prove his innocence. Referencing an incident captured on security tape that appeared to show Diddy hitting his ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie, in a Los Angeles hotel corridor in 2016, she notes that he has made mistakes in his past, but those mistakes don't define him. Diddy was always armed. Although the defendant is pleading not guilty, his indictment stated that more than once, Diddy himself carried firearms around to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses to his abuse. As criminal accusations loomed, Diddy and his accomplices forced these victims into silence, giving them bribes and providing well-crafted but false accounts of what occurred in case they ever did speak out about it. In another court document, prosecutors accused Diddy and an unidentified co-conspirator of kidnapping someone at gunpoint a few days before Christmas in 2011 to enable a break-in at another person's house 2 weeks later. Diddy allegedly set fire to someone's car by slicing open the convertible top and throwing in a Molotov cocktail. These crimes are certainly not new to him because, in 1999, Puff Daddy, his former girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and rapper Jamal Shine Barrow were arrested on account of a club shooting. Although they were eventually released, it almost cost a woman her life. "I was a victim of a shooting that night in the club, December 27, 1999, shot in the face by Shock Puffy Combs, a woman named Natana Rubin has come forward to say. She claims the music mogul shot a bullet through her face the night of the shooting, and to prove her case, she could have her doctors extract a fragment of the bullet that is still stuck in her face as long as it could be used as evidence against him. The traumatized woman described how she was facing them when they brought out the pistols, and within seconds, she saw Diddy shoot her in the nose. However, while Diddy, Lopez, and Barrow were all arrested in connection with the shooting, only Barrow was officially charged. Diddy and Lopez were only arrested on suspected weapons charges but were not charged in connection with the incident. Just when you think you've had enough of this man, the allegations keep getting worse. In court, Diddy confidently denied all of these allegations, and his lawyer emphasized that his client does not own the guns at his home. As for the outrageous amount of baby oil that was found in his home, Diddy has not made any explanation whatsoever, but his attorney stated that he wasn't really sure what the baby oil had to do with anything. He then went on to say, "I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I'm not sure why you would require 1,000 at all." Defending Diddy, he claimed that the producer buys in bulk from Costco because he has a big house. Meanwhile, a Costco representative has clarified that the wholesale store does not stock or sell baby oil at any of its U.S. sites. But it would appear that Diddy and his family indeed have something, or a lot of things, to hide. Later that day, after being escorted out of the Los Angeles mansion in handcuffs, Diddy's sons made a quick trip back to retrieve their belongings. Some sources say that they also picked up boxes that may have contained incriminating materials that officials missed while raiding the home. This is the same Los Angeles home that sources claim to have an underground tunnel leading to other houses within the estate. While there has been no confirmation that such a tunnel exists, media coverage of Diddy's property only revealed the home indeed has a pool with an underwater swimming tunnel connected to a grotto. The Combs boys were also spotted separately leaving their father's other Beverly Hills residence late at night. Justin arrived around 10:30 p.m., and his brother showed up a few hours later before they both sped off the property to an unidentified location. Speaking of his sons, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, or should we say, the baby oil does not drip far from the bottle. Christian may turn out worse than his father. Shaw, Diddy Combs, and his 26-year-old son, Christian King Combs, have been named as defendants in a new complaint alleging that the music mogul's son sexually abused a lady on a boat in December 2022. Christian faces charges of assault, violence, sexual assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Diddy is mentioned in the lawsuit because he chartered the luxurious yacht where the assault is said to have occurred. The only steward on duty on the yacht on the day of the assault was 25-year-old Grace O.M. Mark. She stated that after being coerced into taking 2 tequila shots against her will, she was forced to perform oral sex acts on Christian. She claims that Christian stopped her from leaving, and the longer she stayed, the more she realized that the tequila was spiked. O.M. Mark claims that after a long absence from her duty, she managed to break free from Christian's hold thanks to her fellow employee who deliberately searched for her. She says the incident was not investigated, but she does remember protesting to the ship's captain about it. However, she made it clear that she believes there is a possibility that Diddy paid the captain to conceal everything. The victim also stated that Brendan Paul, Diddy's alleged drug mule, had informed her that he had had to watch Diddy have sex with multiple women when he was employed on the yacht. It is only suspicious enough that during the raids of the producer's residences in March, Paul was the only person detained as he was accused of having marijuana and cocaine in his possession. As karma would have it, several narcotics have also been traced to Diddy. As a matter of fact, prosecuting attorney Tony Busby insists that 90% of the hundreds of assaults linked to him were drug-induced. One particular drug, xylazine, is an extremely powerful horse tranquilizer, and it has come up several times. Victims claim that they are tricked into taking drinks loaded with this weird chemical. Once the substance takes effect, the offenders carry out a variety of sexual actions on the victims, often passing them around to be assaulted in their vulnerable state while others watch and enjoy the show. If they refuse to drink, they are booted out of the party. The other narcotics linked to the star also include marijuana, ecstasy, ketamine, cocaine, and GHB. When these victims woke up hours after they were abused, they were left to experience and deal with severe side effects such as numb limbs, excessive sweating, vomiting, heart palpitations, anxiety, paranoia, irrational behavior, and psychosis. Some of these victims, mostly women, can only recount the horrendous details after they have sought medical care. We do have to warn you, the following accounts are quite disturbing. In September, a woman named Talia Graves filed a lawsuit accusing Combs and his bodyguard, Joseph Sherman, of raping her, recording the assault without her knowledge, and distributing the video as pornography. The victim claims that the attack happened in 2001 when she was 25 years old and in a relationship with an unidentified record producer who worked with Diddy. She claims Diddy and a co-worker, Sherman, used her connection to their colleague as leverage to get her to come to a recording studio by herself. There, they gave her a drink that she felt was laced with drugs. According to the lawsuit, she passed out and woke up bound and unable to move while Diddy and Sherman allegedly took turns raping her. Another woman named Joey Dickerson filed a similar lawsuit, claiming that Diddy had drugged, harassed, and sexually abused her and had distributed a video containing the horrifying event. According to the lawsuit, Dickerson was in college when she consented to go on a date with the music mogul and also make an appearance in a music video for the rapper. The victim claims that after dinner, Diddy drove her to a recording studio under duress to continue the night. As they made their way there, that's when she discovered she had been drugged and couldn't leave the car. She had lost all control of her body and couldn't stand or move independently. It is at this point that the producer does the unspeakable. Yet another lawsuit has been filed against Diddy by a woman named Audria. She filed a case against Diddy, his record label, Jacob Arabo, also known as Jacob the Jeweler, and several other defendants yet to be identified were implicated in a case from 2004. Audria, who was working as a dancer at a club in New York City with her then-boyfriend, was hired to work at one of Puff Daddy's well-known white parties in the Hamptons. She claims she was made to take drugs and alcohol while working at the party, which she believes were laced with ecstasy. According to the lawsuit, by the time she had worked at the third event, she was compelled to start having sex with guests. She also stated that she was forced to change from her customary white outfit to a black mini dress, which she believes was intended to indicate to attendees that she was a sex worker. She described Jacob Arabo as one such guest she was coerced into having intercourse with, along with other unnamed defendants. Audria strongly believes there are secret recordings of these defendants sexually assaulting her in Diddy's homes while she was unconscious. One of the most horrifying allegations involves a 9-year-old boy who was brought to a Bad Boy Records audition in New York City. According to the prosecuting attorney, the victim alleged that he was abused at the studio not only by Diddy but also by his colleagues. The music mogul reportedly promised the boy and his parents stardom and potentially a record deal. Allegedly, during a private discussion, Diddy forced the minor to perform oral sex acts on him and his colleagues. These allegations are just the beginning, as prosecuting attorney Tony Busby is currently representing 12 individuals who have substantial evidence of assaults against Diddy. On October 10, the judge presiding over Diddy's federal case held a hearing in New York and scheduled his trial for May 5, 2025. Diddy and a few of his family members were present in the courtroom, where he entered a not guilty plea. The defendant appeared confident, even overjoyed, wearing khaki pants and a shirt provided by the jail, with his ankles cuffed. He waved to his family seated in the second row and smiled broadly as he was escorted into the courtroom by officials. During the hearing, an attorney revealed that from the time Diddy's houses in Miami and Los Angeles, as well as an unidentified private airfield in Florida, were raided to his arrest, 96 electronic devices were taken into custody. 4 additional devices were confiscated after his arrest. Of the 96 electronic devices, 8 found in Miami contained almost 90 terabytes of data, which the attorney described as extraordinary evidence. This evidence could have extraordinary consequences. The first victim to go public and file a suit against Diddy, Cassie Ventura, set off a chain reaction. As the trial approaches, the music industry and fans worldwide grapple with the stark contrast between the Diddy they thought they knew and the severe allegations leveled against him. If Diddy is going down, many others might go down with him. In the words of the prosecuting attorney, the day will come when we will name names other than P. Diddy, suggesting there are many more implicated. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel to get more intriguing videos like this one. Let us know in the comments section who else you think will be mentioned in Diddy's dirty business.